Johnson, Leroy? Johnson, Leroy? In future, Mr. Johnson, I'd like you to leave your ghetto blaster at home, please.
I'd have left it home if it wasn't so goddamn boring in here.
This is a classroom, Mr. Johnson. You're going to be in the same classroom for the next 4 years, with your eyes open, your homework done, your pencils sharpened, and all food, cigarettes, and radios outside. Do you understand me?
This rich, complex, difficult, and groundbreaking film of the 1970s to 1980s displays the social constructs in the form of identities that are, in essence, forced upon each character.
Why are you here, Mr. Johnson?
'Cause I was young and single and I loves the mingle.
Speak English.
I speak like I likes.
This is my homeroom. You'll speak as I like. I teach English. Now, if that's a foreign language, you're going to learn it.
Right from the beginning of the film, we are shown the diverse cast and how each character's identity differs from one another through the aspects of race, gender, and class.
This is no Mickey Mouse school. You're not getting off easy because you're talented. You work twice as hard. Now, I don't care how well you dance or how cute you are or how many colored tutus you have.
The work of Judith Butler uncovers how these identities do not exist except through our embodiment of them. Essentially, they do not have meaning apart from our bodies.
If you don't give your academic subjects equal time, you're out.
Bullshit.
Further, Judith Butler describes the essence of having one common identity that binds a group of people together based on their common race, gender, or class is arguably impossible. Fame brings a new perspective to the concept of identity in the form of one common dream that each student strives to achieve. As the film possesses characters that possess many different identities, the film shows how a diverse group of people strive to achieve one common goal. No matter their race, gender, or class, they are all existent within this high school, within the common goal of success, power, and ultimately, fame. The 1980 American teen musical drama Fame is set in the prestigious High School of the Performing Arts in New York City. This American teen musical drama was produced by David DeSilva and written by Christopher Gore. Gore originally wrote a script that was then edited and rewritten with DeSilva in order to reflect the recession and world conflict in the late 70s, essentially creating a musical that was the product of its time. DeSilva conceived the idea in 1976 of a musical film that was based on the inner workings of a real-life high school. The film was set and shot in both vulgar and beautiful New York City. Critics describe the film as a dozen races pitching and each having their own shot at the American dream. The 2009 remake of Fame is a reflection of New Hollywood. Still set in New York Academy of Performing Arts, however, this film does not do the original justice. In 1980, after a decade of feminism, blooming racial pride, and the gay liberation movement, the original movie was full of kids waving their various identity flags. In this post-caring remake, no one frets about being Jewish or black or gay. All differences are melted down into one unifying characteristic: the refusal to believe in anything less than the guarantee of fame and all dreams coming true. The problem with this blindfold to identities in the remake lies in the visibility of marginalized people and how, in context of time period of the 2000s, the remake tended to have a lesser impact on the representation of marginalized people. However, in both films, there are still many aspects of race, gender, culture, as well as sexuality. Not even merely how characters display their sexuality through their talents, but how we assume their identities based on their sexuality, as well as we assume their talents or characteristics based on their race or gender. Therefore, both films essentially guide the audience on the path to assuming identities based on these concepts, as the film cast characters in roles that were supposed to reflect these identities. Both films contain the stereotyping that comes with the assumption of one's identity that is forced upon each character based on their race, gender, sexuality, or class status. All in all, both films are subject to stereotyping as well as identity assumption. Therefore, both films will be examined.
Okay, that was good. Group 2 on the floor.
We've seen 150 students today. They all swear that they have a special gift to offer the school. Do you have a special gift?
The main focus of both films is the never-ending battle to power and success, and the issues that the students face with race, gender, class, and privilege along their desired path to stardom. Though the film featured a diverse cast and dived into the issues of race and class, it did so through a white Hollywood lens. The film also reflected dramatic and dark tones as it dives into the nearly unreachable dream of instant success and the constant reminder of failure that follows each student and how their identity shapes their journey to power and fame. As we follow the students through high school, from their freshman to senior year, the film displayed the enormous motivations and problems of youth, showing how ambition and rejection influence the lives of the vulnerable adolescent students.
Bruno, this is our big chance, man. Don't you want success?
Because I'm gonna be a dancer. A good dancer. You know who says so? Me.
Think you'll ever be good enough, Lisa?
But I don't know what I'll do if I can't dance.
You want to know what's happened to me, man? Success, all right? Now you either hang on or you hang up.
It is clear that the theme that dominates the film is, in fact, the power of fame. But it is the underlying concepts of what it takes to reach that level of power that is what the film is depicting, and further, how race, class, and gender stereotypes existent within this time period either held students back or gave them an advantage to gaining their dreams of fame.
I work harder than anyone else. I'm sorry, Kevin. You're just not a strong enough dancer.
The competition for power is a repeated concept that continues to be brought into the discussion surrounding fame.
You will never, in my opinion, be able to support yourself as a dancer. It's my responsibility to tell you that.
However, power comes at a price, as the film clearly represents the many ways students must change their identities to reflect that of the famous and successful. Just as we view famous people within popular cultures today, the film is very sexualized, and the women are repeatedly subject to gender stereotypes as well as the objectification of women. Throughout the film, the women are shown through the constant perspective of the male gaze. Although women are not the only characters displayed sexually, the men in the film also must compete to be within the female gaze in order to realize their dreams. Overall, sexuality and how they display it within their dance, acting, or musical skills is a very prominent theme throughout the film.
What do you call that? Wicked.